Okay, good evening to my spirit guides. Who am I speaking with this evening? Matthew. Matthew. Hi, Matthew. And just a quick question that occurred to me after we talked last time. I was thinking about how my spirit guides have been with me for all of my lifetimes, and there have been a lot of them based on what you've told me. And I wondered if you go by different names along with Matthew that maybe predate some of the maybe biblical names or names in the English language or other languages. Are there other names that you go by? Yes, that's what I thought. So you don't just have one name, you probably have many names, and maybe this is just the easiest to speak or say at this time. Yoreuarrect. You are correct. Okay, wonderful. So I had a topic in mind that I thought was interesting, and I think we've talked about this at least once before, but I think it bears repeating. And that topic is how, I guess you would say, seers, mediums, those connected to the divine realm, psychics. I think there are a lot of terms that are somewhat synonymous. They are viewed so negatively in the Bible. Now, that's my understanding. So, again, my spirit guides know that I do not know a lot about the Bible. I don't know anything about it, really. I just read a few statements from the Bible, just a few. I've never done any Bible study, anything like that. They know that I have not done that. So I'm just curious from your perspective, why those who were connected to the divine realms, maybe in ancient times, why did that information get put into the Bible? That's just something that I don't understand. BECAUSE, because THERE, there. WERE, were. THOSE, those. WHO, who. BELIVed, believed. THAT, that. PSYCHIC, as psychics. WERE, were. EVIL. There were those who believed psychics were evil. Okay, and are they evil? No. Okay, so again, the Bible was written by human beings. I mean, this information was put through the filters of human beings in the incarnation. So I'm sure that they had their own biases, own prejudices, and maybe even ulterior motives is what I'm guessing for some of the information that's put in the Bible. Now, and thank you for explaining that. So is all of the information in the Bible accurate? No. Okay. So, but is some of the information accurate? Yes. Okay. So it sounds like it's just kind of a mix between some truths and some maybe not so true, and maybe information that's given through the perspective of beings who lived here in ancient times with their own cultures, their own belief systems, conditioned belief systems that don't necessarily align with the truth. So, okay, so again, is anything about what we are doing here evil? No. And there will be no punishment to me for doing this, and there will be no punishment to anyone for watching this. This is just a way that we connect. And that's because you're not in a physical body right now. You're not in a physical body, but you are still here as consciousness. And so this gives us the ability to communicate with each other. Okay, wonderful. I just wanted to talk about that because I'm sure there's some who watch these interactions, and that might be the first thing they think is this is some kind of evil, doings that need to be punished and it's to be feared or something like that. But that is not the case. Okay. Okay, wonderful. Okay. On that note, because there's nothing to fear from this, what we're doing here, again, this is not the clearest path to connection to the divine. And we've talked about it so many times, but I'll let you spell it out for us. For those who want to connect to their spirit guides, to any divine beings, star families, any beings on the other side, what is the clearest path for that? MEDITATION, meditation, and THAT, INCLUDES includes YOU. Yeah, I knew you were going to say that. Yes, because again, I'm not a good meditator. And I've had some things going on in my 3D or 4D, I guess you want to say, experience that has prevented me from doing that. But I am myself implementing a daily 30-minute meditation practice. And I know things come up sometimes. You can't always do it. Things come up. But that is the intention I'm setting out, is to connect that way. So, okay. Thanks, Spirit Guides. So, is there anything else you'd like to add about maybe some of the information that's in the Bible that isn't accurate? I'm sure it's voluminous maybe, and probably would take a very long time to go through the parts that are not accurate. I guess probably one of the main things that I think about is fallen angels, Satan, that kind of thing. So is this maybe a topic that's too big? And that is a huge yes for a session like this. So I maybe need to put together some specific questions about that topic, because I get the feeling that might be a long explanation. Yes. ITS, it's COMPLICATED. It's complicated. Okay. Yes. And there are a lot of different competing stories in some ways about what's happening there. But I guess the bottom line of what I'm hoping to express, and we've done it so many times, but the clearest path to heaven, I guess you'd want to say that, to source, to who you really are, is to find love and not be afraid. So any fears about Satan or punishment or retribution, anything like that, will not serve you in this experience. And again, I'm sure we can talk about the details of that another time, but we've talked about that over and over. Finding love is what we need to do if we want to have the best outcome, our higher, best, highest timeline. Okay. Thanks, Spirit Guide. So is there anything else you want to add about this particular topic? Yes. THERE, there. ISIS, much, INNTHE, the. BIBLE, Bible. THAT, that. ISISTRUE. There's much in the Bible that is true. And, I've connected with beings that I have no idea who they were because I don't know anything about the Bible. So I've connected with angels, those in the angelic realms, and those are referenced in the Bible. So it seems like those interactions truly happened at some point in our history, in the earthly timeline. So yes, I'm sure that a lot of it is true. So that's amazing. And maybe at another time, maybe piece by piece, we can talk about a few things that are not necessarily true, or with enough bias that we need to look, with discernment maybe at that information. Okay. Okay. Thanks, Spirit Guides. Excuse me. Is there anything else you'd like to add before we go? W-E-We-L-O-V-E, love. Y-O-U, we love you. Okay, thanks, Spirit Guides. I'm grateful to you and sending you much love and gratitude, and we will talk to you soon. Good night.